This is how Liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
And I feel like they smell bad on the outside.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
I felt a great disturbance in the fourth.
Traveling through hyperspace ain't like dusting crops, boy.
It's a trap.
I used to bull-eye womp rats in my T-16 back home. They're not much bigger than 2 meters.
It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
Alright. Happy May the 4th, everybody.
May the 4th be with you.
I'm going to talk with a lisp throughout this entire episode, I think.
You do it.
I'm going to see what... I'm going to see how that goes.
Really? You can stop anytime.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Let's say hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down, y'all.
Hunker down.
Hunker down. Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Hunker Downcast again. Where are we today?
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Barry, Mark.
The beautiful French Quarter, the Vieux Carré, at the corner of Chartres and Dumaine, across from Harry's Corner Bar. You may even be able to hear the current hits that spill out of the jukebox at Harry's Corner Bar. And you may hear people wandering by outside. A brass band may come by. A very bad second line with poorly dancing white folks may stroll on by. Somebody with their bass music. It could all happen because tonight we're coming to you from the French Quarter.
From the heart of the historic French Quarter in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yep.
On Locals Thursday of Jazz Fest.
There could be some slow pan shots of Jackson Square if this was a home Saints game.
Basically, we're doing this from the gallery tonight. This is a Deurty Boys Gallery. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff. This to my right is Alli.
Hi.
And then over
It
there
helps,
is...
It helps for them to know where we're located. Like, the alley is to your right.
Right.
We are also a block away from Billy Nungesser's Orgy Palace. So that is notable.
So where's Swamp Molly, then?
Where she could walk by
Where's
on
Swamp
her
Molly?
way. Billy could come by. Although he's probably slowing his roll a little bit.
He's not going to walk by. He's going to billow.
Yeah, he's going to do his... We'll know him.
He's
we'll
going
spot
to-
him a block away.
He's going to set himself... Because he can't walk,
He's
right?
a one-man clipper ship.
He can't... He doesn't perambulate very well. He's got to have, like, roller skates with his own jacket, like, set up in front of him as a sail. And he just kind of, like... scoots on down the street.
Yeah, well, there's a series of ropes and such that require, when he gets dressed in the morning, there's a special team of riggers has to come in with ropes and stuff. And
Yeah,
the special
the
knots.
Interrobang crew is operating Billy Nungesser
They
now.
are. He's a big hit every year at the Chewbacca's parade, although fuck them.
He's Billy Nungesser whale float. They should do that next year.
They should do that.
A big Billy Nungesser.
It would up the satire in that parade by about 100%. So.
It would. So we're in the French Quarter tonight, y'all. This is exotic for us.
Yeah. On the way over, I drove down Rampart Street past the Sanger, where they've got their new marquee sign up.
Oh,
They've got lights up.
A new one.
Well, since they've done their renovation and reopened and become part of the new, Canal
Theater
Street.
District.
Yes, the theater district there.
The State Palace is like, fuck you, we're not doing that.
They're participating in this.
They are?
Yeah, a little bit.
At least they're not advertising that same Lil Wayne concert from
That Lil
August
Wayne,
2005.
that was
Right. But I drove by
Love
there
that.
and I noticed. I looked at the sign that was we're at twilight now, and the lights are coming on Canal Street. And
Right.
The sign was lighting up, and it was the S would light up, and then the A was dark, and the E was dark, and then the other lights would come on, and I realized that shit is already broken, and everything just clicked in my mind like, oh, we're gonna be okay.
If
Like-
the new shit is also as shitty as the old shit.
Right, it's like, all the New Orleans is also broken.
Then it's getting back. It's a return to normalcy.
Gentrification is over. Everybody's rent is on the way down now.
Is it?
Well, no, the sign said.
Oh, according to that.
Right. I felt like
This
200%
is
better just seeing
You felt a
wave-
disturbance in the force.
something like that.
a
yeah.
disturbance in the fourth. The wave broke and rolled back.
A little bit.
Well, we'll see about all that. I was on Canal Street the other day, and there was just fucking crumb snatchers everywhere, and they had little swords and little fucking bags,
a crumb snatcher?
like little fucking kids.
Oh, okay.
Some of y'all may have
Crumb snatcher.
Some of
Is
y'all,
that-
Tim and them may have some.
Is that a...
It's
That's
a
a
derogatory word for kids. It's
I thought
okay
you were
to fuck-
Wow.
I thought you were talking about pigeons.
ankle biters, crumb snatchers, little fuckers. They were everywhere on Canal Street, and they were up there by the Sanger and stuff, which is, that's not quite, bad for the kids, but you don't want to see that many of them up there. Most of the time someone's getting robbed outside the IHOP in stories I read about that section of Canal.
In the stores.
So, and then there was kids everywhere, and apparently I looked up what it was, and it was, of course, some shit that I have. Some weird shit. That's what the kids watch these days. Like,
The kids watch weird shit?
KDN at, some shit that just did not compute at all in my head.
Okay.
But it must have made sense to them because they were fucking everywhere.
Crumb snatchers.
Yeah, tons of them.
Okay.
It would be like way more than I would have expected at like a Morrissey show. Like there was more kids than goths at a Morrissey show walking around that area.
All right.
Anyways, we digressed there. I'm sorry.
That's fine. We were really on
title
a...
show is a digression, so
Yeah.
it's kind of our thing.
It's our thing.
Happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Did you we're missing the Chewbacca's box
The
parade.
Thubakfifth parade.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
I'm sorry to
I
pull you away from
am
that.
too. I definitely was gonna go there and I don't know, cut up a little bit, act like they were tearing down them, like they were. Like I was gonna go at it with a monument style fervor, just like
You're Antifa, but for Chewbacca's.
right. I'm Antifa.
Okay.
Antifa. I don't know. They'll come up with a funny one for that.
Okay.
But yeah, fuck them. How are they going to come up with a holier than thou fucking theme parade 2 years after we had a fucking holier than thou contest?
Also, I noticed that they were using the term "nolier than thou," which is now like there's this huge dispute as to where the term originally came from.
I would love to find out. I know it didn't come from us.
I think it came
No.
from Champ.
I sourced it to Champ. That was because that's the first time I saw it. And,
Okay.
And so I put it out there. I said, "Oh look, Champ said
That was the
Champ
first-
should." I said Champ should have trademarked this. And
Like
she
2 years ago that was said?
yeah. And so
Okay.
she's like yeah, that's me.
All right.
But certain corners of the Twitter sphere are like, nah, man, that's us. So you gotta
Well,
watch.
if they can produce,
I don't know.
I mean, all these things are linguistics are easily traceable. Like,
are they?
aren't they?
I
They
thought-
usually, well, they're not. Once it gets noted, like so and so used the word "dick" to refer to a penis in 1785. When you look up origins of words like the whole 9 yards, or have your cake and eat it too, or whatever the fuck, however phrases get created.
Yeah, I don't think
there's
that-
always someone said it in this book or this journal or blah blah blah. So
Yeah,
whoever
but-
said it before that led to that sucks for them. But so and so put it in some sort of recordable way, and if that was Champ Superstar, then good honor.
Okay.
So-
In the future, everyone will invent a meme that is popular for 15 minutes.
I think that actually 15 minutes is a little too much now. I don't think you get that much time anymore because everybody has their time.
Unless it's Harambe.
Oh,
Yeah,
Harambe
he's-
will live forever.
Or 69 and nice.
What is that?
Oh, anytime somebody says anything involving the number 69, it just gets a torrent of replies that just say, nice.
I like that. I learned so much from y'all. I learned about Yeti butts. Dicks out for Harambe. and now 69 and 9.
This show is mostly just about memes, like your meme source, basically. Like anybody who wants to come in and learn about memes, just listen to this show.
Yeah. So now, in the future, this can be referenced as when did this thing achieve something, or, if we said it here first, now we have a note. It was said on this episode of Hunger Down.
That's right. We'll have to put it in the show notes.
We can think of something like, yes, Jeff, or what is our little meme?
Okay, Jeff.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay, Jeff.
Today, Caitlin Marone said that she was lifting her ban on the use of 69 and 420.
Uh-huh.
And
she instituted the moratorium and then lifted it.
That's right.
Within like 20 minutes.
It didn't last very long.
Moratorium on what?
I'm replying nice to the numbers 420 and 69 on Twitter.
Is she a national lady?
No, she's
No, she does the Dean's List comedy show at New Movement on Wednesday nights.
Is 69 and nice a local meme? Or
No.
Is it? Okay. Well, I don't know if she's got the authority to do that, but...
I think that was part of the joke.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that type of
I love this segment. I love the way we start every podcast episode with let's explain some jokes to each other.
Let's explain jokes and memes to Lance this episode. If you have any more questions, we'll just come up with the...
How do y'all fucking know all this shit? We all hang and do the same shit. How do y'all know it and I don't?
Because we're extremely online.
We're so extremely online.
I'm online as fuck, but come on.
We're like two online.
We gotta swap followers, man.
Yeah.
You're OAF. Online as fuck.
Something like that.
Oof. See, now that just got said right here tonight. If that fucking blows up, I just fucking did it. I said that shit. Oof. I'm oof. We have badass new fucking mics.
Yes! We have to tell you about our equipment that we got. We are recording on new microphones with mic stands and cords, all from our pal and Renaissance era patron Ira Ray,
who is going to ask us to fucking whack somebody one day, I think, right?
Yeah, I think.
And we're going to be unable to refuse.
Yeah, I think that's how that works.
All right. Well,
So
I hope it's somebody worthy.
I hope it sounds better for you, Tim and in your earbuds.
Whatever happens, we just plug it all into the same 10-year-old laptop and see if that does any good or not.
Anyway, all right, let's kick it off. What are we talking about? What's
Okay.
our topic?
It moves and stuff. I mean, it's got like little tension bars and shit on it, pincher clamps. Mm-hmm. It's got a very nouveau coloring to it that makes me think it's fancy and high fidelity.
Yeah, and this microphone has got the foam covering,
So much foam on it,
which is like if you're going to be stealthed by a mic, it's a lot harder now. So,
Well, I think it's so that when you hit your P's and B's, it doesn't like pop in the microphone.
What about your ethiv?
Probably those two.
Do they come through? Okay. Superbly.
Anyway, can I complete this transition to like talking about what
Stupendously.
we actually wanted to talk about?
please do so.
Certainly.
Jeff, what are we talking about?
Okay. Well, I guess number one this week is the episode where on Monday night where we played Monday Night Monumentball with
what a time! What a great time!
God.
I'm so sorry I missed that.
Yeah, so Alli and I and many others were...
How many others do you think?
Well, the paper estimated about 200 people were down at the Jefferson Davis Monument across from, at Jeff Davis and Canal Street.
And it had built itself up in the days previous to this as a sort of somewhat inclusive group of fucking monument protesters.
Inclusive group of protesters.
Yeah, there was like some black folks there.
Well, okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it being inclusive.
Well, why not? Because it means including people of all races and such.
All fascists of all kinds.
Right. It was an inclusive fascist. I know it sounds weird to apply it to this group, but
I would not describe the pro-monument protesters.
There was a Native American there?
I would not describe them as either inclusive or fascist. I would describe them as hobos, for the most part, anyway.
So they hopped the train on out of here at the end of it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, these are just
they stayed away from the yard boss?
Toothless carnies from Arklahotex or wherever, it's just... These
were folks sleeping in their truck when they weren't trying to stay up all night on Monster Energy drinks.
Pretty
wearing
much.
the same clothes for 3 or 4 days in a row.
And there's like 10 to 15 of them at most.
But boy, did they have a lot of guns.
They did. They felt threatened, so they
had
as
so many
usual.
guns.
Heavily armed that community turns out to be. I don't know.
Which means, you gotta show up and say, get the fuck out of New Orleans. you gotta show up and tell them.
Well, that's what happened. So,
well, they're still there.
No, they're not there. So
they left that night and they did not come back.
Well, let's.
Nah, they're still out there.
Let's tell them what happened.
Okay.
We went over to the Holy Ground and we sat around drinking. So the crowd is basically about 10 to 15 hobos, and then.
And this is, by the way, by the time Monday rolled around, this was Pat's 5th night in a row out at the Holy Ground / watching these people.
Yeah.
And I had been out there also on Friday night.
Thank you very much.
There was like
Alli and Pat.
There was a lot of this had built up over several nights.
Right. So there's about 10 to 15 pro Monument carnies hanging out there, sleeping under the stars, grilling hot dogs or whatever, eating Vienna sausages. Then they're in a truck arrived. I would say something about maybe 50, not in one truck, but like together about 50 like hardcore Antifa, like anarchist protester types.
Okay.
To like sing songs and yell at them and throw bottles and eggs and stuff.
Yeah, the plan was for a karaoke and barbecue.
Nice.
Right.
I really wish I was there. I did not know at all about the karaoke.
They only got through about 0.75 of a song. So.
Oh, right. Then what happened?
The song, by the way, was "Head Like a Hole" by 9 Inch Nails.
Oh,
because
my God.
Of course it would be.
That's Camaro Varg right there.
Right.
Those Pensacola jams.
Yeah, that whole Pretty Hate Machine. I don't want to break it up, man, but if you want to talk about Pretty Hate Machine, man, I can spend the next 10 minutes. Describes the whole relationship of mine.
All right, I think we can.
All right, well, I'll record that separately.
But anyway, the outside of that core group of participants, the other 100 or so people were basically gawkers. Like they were like us there to kind of keep, like Pat, who monitors everything, and everyone else who supports, who like protests or demonstrates in support. And, people like me and Tim who are just there to drink beer and watch.
Right.
And, also...
And a pretty solid contingent from DSA, who had also been there on Friday night.
True. And also about,
what is that?
Democratic Socialists of America.
Oh, your group.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also about, 500 or so reporters. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Lots of reporters.
So many.
It
Not
was
the hayride.
No, there was a Mackels. There was a Mackels there.
Yeah.
There was a
That's
Mackels,
legit.
Which was really exciting because Pat finally got to see one of them in person. And since he had just learned last week that there were actually 2 of them.
Get the fuck out of here.
It was a big moment.
Learned that just last week.
He did. It was amazing. We were watching the news, and he turned to me and said, "Did you know that guy has to do all of these breaking news stories and cover all the sports?" And I was like, "You're kidding me, right? Like, there are 2 of them."
That was some straight up legit. What is?
And he was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "There's 2 of them. They're twins, and they both work at the same network." He's like, "You're kidding me. They're twins? They're not even just brothers or something?" I'm like, "No, they're twins. Travers and Fletcher. You do you not know
my
about
God.
this?"
That must be.
It was the great. I couldn't stop laughing for about an hour. It was amazing.
There has to be a word for mansplaining where some shit like that happens. Where somebody not only tells you something you already know, but tells you in a, "Oh my God, did you know this?" type way.
No, what about that was mansplaining? That was just how could you possibly not know this? You've lived here for a decade.
Yeah.
How do you not know that there are 2 Mackels?
How many jokes are made about the Mackels?
How do you tell your husband that he just got parent trapped? What do you do?
I I laughed.
There needs to
I
be.
laughed a lot, and then I tweeted about it.
Jesus,
and
Pat.
he got mad at me, but at least I didn't tag the Mackels in the tweet, right? I mean, so I feel like I did.
How could you not do that?
I did okay.
I'm pretty sure they search for their names on Twitter anyway. They seem like that kind of person.
Every
right?
time I try and figure out which one is which, I always say, this guy is the sports guy because his name sounds sporty. And then I think later on, both Travers and Fletcher sound like sporty names. So.
They do.
But I think, all right, let me try and guess. Fletcher is the sports guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Nice. 69 and nice.
The way I remember it is Fletcher always wants to trade every Pelican. That's just...
Travers sounds like he's going to figure out the news. He's
Yes.
going to get the scoop.
Yeah,
Fletcher sounds like he's going to throw a ball.
I think that was exactly what their parents had in mind when they named them.
Let me know if we can help you, man. We're just working on our podcast.
No, but I mean,
No,
seriously.
continue to look around, but
Yeah.
go for it. All right. No, yes. He wasn't going to buy anything anyway.
Customers wander into the gallery while we're doing
Yeah, he
the
just
show.
wandered in.
It's nice.
This is
No
real
way he was going
life.
to buy something.
Real life.
There was a monument
Raw.
protest, and then Mitch and crew showed up.
Okay, so where are we in this story? So
A steak truck shows up at some point.
This military vehicle full of these Antifa people
Right.
rolls up with a
What do you
sign.
mean a military vehicle?
It's like an old, it looked like it drove in from the Korean War military vehicle.
How did they get that?
That's a good question.
That's a great
That's
question.
awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I'm starting to like these guys.
It actually was pretty cool. And on the side, they had a banner that said, "Fuck off, Nazi scum."
Hell yeah. That's
which
dead,
they also chanted.
that's,
And then
that's some dead Kennedy shit.
And then on
right
the other
there.
side, it said "Solidarity Forever."
Okay.
And so they rolled up in that. They piled out. They started fighting over each other's flags and stuff. Some flags were burned.
Basically, this is how it worked. There was a moment of silence, and then there was a scrimmage. Like every now and then, they would just break out, and everybody would be like they would be pushing and shoving, and things flying around. And at the end of it, one side would come out of it with one of the other side's flags. Like
Okay, so they were playing like capture the flag?
they were playing kind of a
Kind of.
What
kind of flag was
it? Was an amalgam of like capture the flag and just like a football game because they would run a play and they would capture a flag. So
I love these guys.
the Antifa would come in and sack the Confederate flag and they would run around.
Were there guys playing like Confederates, like playing the role of Confederates?
There were the Confederates
Okay.
versus the Antifa.
Oh,
And they would scrimmage and then a flag would be stolen.
so this was really serious shit.
and then
Yeah.
the stolen flag
Especially considering all the guns. Yeah.
Sure, okay.
It was a mess.
the stolen flag would then be set on fire.
Okay.
And
This was
worked.
all the Confederate flag. They were fighting over the Confederate.
No,
Well,
no.
the Antifa brought their own flag.
Right.
What does that look like?
It's just black and red stripes.
Okay. And then the Confederates would steal that.
They would try to, yeah.
Did they try and burn? Did they burn it?
I don't know.
Yes. There,
All right.
Oh, okay.
There was a Confederate flag burn, at least one, and then
Yeah.
there was an Antifa flag
I've
burn.
not read about this in any of the stories. Is this an exclusive?
Well, you can credit me and Tim
Eyewitness
Okay.
reports.
Tim and I eyewitnessed this event
The
happening.
smell of weed is wafting into the gallery right now, and it's not us.
Not yet.
Not yet.
The other thing that happened was the Antifa people did do some dumb shit, like throw beer bottles at the head of the guy who had an AR-15 strapped to his chest. That was extremely dumb.
So he could say, I felt threatened and shoot them. Stand your
I will
ground
say
law.
it felt extremely tense. I backed the fuck off of like the scrum, because it was kind of like a rugby-esque scrum.
It was.
But
a lot
I
of-
was like, I don't want any part
Definitely
of this.
smart.
I'm not getting shot over a fucking statue.
Right.
Like, I'm not dying today over
Yeah.
this dead asshole's statue.
I totally.
You know what was-
I'm with you on that.
You know what was great about that is I had that thought
Ladies,
a
let us
couple
know
of
if we can help you. We're just doing the podcast over here. You're welcome.
I had that thought a couple of times, but what kept me there was how calm Tim was. Like, Tim was, like, in fact, the more they would break out into fights, the closer he would want to walk up to it. And I would just, okay, I guess we'll just calmly walk over here and watch them push. And that's what we did. And we both had our, like, our
Doesn't Tim have
go-cups.
military training, though?
That's why I was staying close to him.
He does?
I was like,
I
you
think
know.
so.
I guess you have to be in the Army to be in the Army Corps of Engineers?
I thought I don't know. We'll find out.
Tim always knows where the point of fixity is.
Yeah.
He does.
And so...
Unless it's in a levee wall.
Right.
We love you.
Sorry, y'all ain't never living that one down.
So anyway...
the other thing that happened was somebody started throwing eggs at the cops. So that was also really stupid.
Yes, so...
But another thing that happened was the Confederates pepper sprayed some of the counter-protesters.
Okay, damn.
And so I had to hold somebody's beer for a while they left and got Maalox to pour in their
He was like,
eyes.
hold my beer.
Yeah. So it was a very tense night.
So that went on for a while, and like once that happens, like a couple of times, once there are a couple of scrums, and then there's like Maaloxing of the eyes and such, that's when the cops are finally like, okay, y'all, fuck y'all, we're coming in and just shoving everybody off. And they did. They ran everybody across the street. We were put in timeout. We all of us had to be marched across Canal Street to the opposite side, and the police set up a little perimeter. And we just stood around over there watching for a while they set up barricades. Around
the statue and told the Confederates to leave too?
Right.
And we thought for sure that, oh my God, they're putting up barricades. They must be taking this shit down tonight.
Yeah, well, they did have a steak truck, so there's no reason. Why do you have a steak truck?
So we got really excited.
Yeah, we were super psyched. We're like,
we thought we are here live at the toppling party.
Right.
Impromptu. It
with
was
Sam
a pop-up.
Chris, with friend of the podcast, Sam Chris.
That's exactly right.
A pop-up toppling party.
Pop-up toppling party.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. But it still stands right now.
Yeah, they didn't do it.
And someone painted a Make America Great Again hat on P.T. Beauregard.
Yeah, that happened later in the night.
Wait, now should be a good time for us to play Kill, Fuck, Marry with the remaining statues.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go first. I want to kill Jefferson Davis because he caused all this fucking problems of this last weekend in New Orleans. And also, fuck him. He didn't seem like he was that great. He just fuck him. And then I think I would marry that P.T. Beauregard guy. I don't know a lot about him, but he seems like, of those three remaining dudes, the coolest guy among them. I think he later on went on to like help black folks or some shit. I read it somewhere. I don't even know how true it is.
He supported the integrated police force.
Thank you.
Later,
Alli.
I think.
Thank you for
supplementing that. That was also Longstreet who did that.
And then I would fuck Robert E. Lee because look how tall his fucking statue is and shit. And he sits up there, he's the handsomest, he's the ballingest rock star, one of them all.
I was gonna do the same.
A lot of times they're all very obvious who you're gonna kill.
I'm killing Jefferson Davis for sure.
I mean, they killed our president, so we should kill theirs. It's like revenge for Lincoln.
Yeah.
In a kill, fuck, marry game.
Although, I mean, maybe I would fuck Beauregard because, I don't know, he rides that horse, so
True.
That could be fun.
Lee seemed like he'd have more money.
And then I'd marry Robert E. Lee so that I could, like slowly mess with his mind for the whole time.
Is that why people get married?
I'm just positing that within the rules of this game.
Okay. Yeah. So I can be a constant.
I understand.
And you would get more money. Because he was higher up in the army.
Oh, yeah. Definitely always marry for money.
Yep.
Marry for love the first time, but the second time, definitely marry for money.
Dang. Hear that, ladies? If any of y'all are rich and looking for a husband, I'm available. Or about to be in about a week or two.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. The papers are over there. We don't want to get into all that.
Nope.
That's pretty good. Well, okay, so Alli helped me figure out mine. Definitely marry Lee because I understand marry for the money very well. That's what you do. Mm-hmm. He's also, he's just so gallant. He would be the one to take care of you, and the chivalry there.
Yeah.
It's true. He has a sword and
he's
shit.
He's a hero, and I could see that.
Wait, did you just call Robert E. Lee a hero?
No, in his own mind, like he carries himself with the, with that.
Why
kind
do you
of
hate
mind.
black people, dude?
That's not what I'm.
You're sitting there. You're extolling the virtues of Robert E. Lee.
Yeah.
You're a fucking racist.
And then there's Davis is the one you would fuck because he's obviously a bottom. And then there's and then Beauregard you have to kill because he's the last one there.
Right. So, sometimes you have that. Can't help but kill him. He's just a supplemental kill.
He's just the one left over, right?
Yeah, we should do a whole episode where we play this game.
Okay, next time.
I come up with the
bonus
weirdest
content.
shit too with that
Great.
game. I like to
Can't wait.
like a spool of thread, the Pacific Ocean, and existentialism. Kill, fuck, marry.
We're gonna have to find somebody out on the street with some weed to be able to do that game.
I don't think it would be very hard.
Okay, right?
We wouldn't have to go too many blocks.
Okay.
So monuments,
So here's one more aspect of this is that Mitch got himself into a spat with a friend of his this week.
Oh yeah.
He started. This all started last week.
Friend of the show,
Friend of the show.
Frank Stewart.
Oh, Frank Stewart. Yeah, friend of the show, Frank Stewart. Billionaire Frank Stewart. Please send us some more equipment, Frank. This started last week when Mitch. He's obviously exasperated with this at this point.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's like Donald Trump. He's like, doing my job is hard.
He's worked himself into a weird little corner here, right? Because he's pounced on this issue. I will totally give him credit all the time for this because this needed to happen, and people have been wanting it to happen for a long time.
Yeah, he's
Mitch,
being a bit redeemed in a certain respect.
I mean, I think he.
I know you won't go that far.
I think he did it cynically. I think he did it because he wants to continue to burnish his own national profile and like show himself in a certain light.
I'm fine with that.
I don't think he cares one way or the other. I think he's one of these people who just looks at okay, well here I need some cred in this, like with this demo, and I need to kind of like show myself this. He's just one of these professional politicians. Alli disagrees with me. That's fine. But
I don't think you wade into something this controversial if you don't actually care about it.
Okay.
Now, on the other hand, I think he's fucked it up because they should have all come down simultaneously as soon as the ink was dry in the last legal decision.
Right, and he fucked it up in a couple of ways.
By doing Liberty Place in the middle of the night, it sent the signal like, we actually are kind of ashamed that we're doing this.
Right.
Yep.
And I know there were threats and all that, but like, that's why all these hobos drove in from Alabama and Oklahoma is because they're like, oh shit, we have time. We have time to stop this.
That's
they
exactly
sense
right.
weakness and
they should not have given them this moment. You got to do this thing as quickly as possible.
And what's interesting is he obviously gets this in hindsight. He actually he talked to WWL this week and he said he recited the whole litany of this. He says, "Look, y'all, we've been through several public meetings. We've had 2 city council votes on the issue. We've won twice in court. Like this has been a deliberate, legitimate process. I mean, the thing is obviously constitutional. It's obviously democratic. The decision's been made. They're coming down. And if he
gotta be kidding me.
If he understands that,
get your asses moving in New Orleans.
It's kind of stupid that they did the Liberty Monument in the cowardly way that they did, because they really should be celebrating this. They should be out in the open doing it.
They did it in a way that
I think it's a funding and contracting issue because they had the money for Liberty Place first. And they had that in hand. And I think that there have been delays in getting the people on board to actually perform this work. And I think this is like a paperwork problem. Right. I'm not even kidding. I think that's part of the delay is they're trying to figure out the contracting, the liability, the staging of all of this stuff, and it's just taking way longer than they thought it would. And so this is just bureaucracy stuff that's getting in the way at this point.
That's why we should, as people, just go tear the motherfuckers down and say, "There it is." Cops, cops can't always do stuff unless they have a report.
How many
and
of
shit.
our police resources are being spent now defending the Jefferson Davis Monument from more vandalism? That's literally what they're doing. They're defending a barricade to keep the statue from getting vandalized because they're taking it down soonish and putting it in a museum. And it's I don't think that's the best use of our resources. Can we just take the damn thing down?
Yeah, and that's what's frustrating. But I don't think it's just bureaucratic. I think you're right. I think it is. All of that is probably happening. But I think it's also a political problem. And I think that Mitch made it clear this week that it is because he first of all, he complained in this exclusive interview with the Advocate editorial staff about the problems that he's having and how disappointed he is in the New Orleans business community and the tourism community and all of the people.
Oh, those are his boys.
All the people who are his friends and
allies
of
his show.
And donors who have kind of left him hanging throughout this entire adventure. In fact, even today, WVUE reached out to like the French Quarter Business Association and some other like prominent civic leaders and tourism leaders, and none of them they still don't want to take a position on this. And Mitch is pissed off at them. He feels like, nobody's got my back.
Because maybe they're secretly racist.
I think that's part of it. Not all of them, sure, but a lot of them, more of them than you think are. And
well, go to the Save the Monuments Facebook page, and it has a mutual friends, like your friends follow this.
Okay.
And look at your friends who follow, and you're like, whoa, that motherfucker? Damn.
No, but then you get people like Jeff who follow pages like that just for informational purposes.
Well, that's true. I'm friends with Billy Nungesser.
But you got to be aware of the
So I
never followed Donald Trump for informational purposes.
I don't either.
I was just like, I'll
too
get
much
it.
mental energy, man. I ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah, I'm everybody's friend and follower because I want to know what's up. But anyway, so because Mitch called all these people out, in the Advocate, this guy Frank Stewart, who is himself a billionaire and the
Frank Stewart,
81-year-old former owner of Stewart Enterprises, which is a funeral home kind of services company.
Service company that he sold to Service Corp.
Right.
A couple of years ago.
And he's a key player in the Monumental Task Committee, and he just blew up at Mitch with this full-page ad in the paper. Two-page ad in the paper.
A spread?
Yes. Yeah. And it was
in the what?
In the Advocate. And it reads kind of like the Declaration of Independence with like bold, Mitch.
Let us know if we can help you, ladies.
So it's this really embarrassing thing that the dude wrote, and so
you mean because he's so stupid?
Well,
he sounds stupid,
he's
not a touch.
embarrassing for all parties, I think,
because they're airing their dirty laundry in public like this.
Yeah.
But what it shows you is the kind of the political corner that Mitch kind of put himself in. And again, I give him a lot of credit here because I think this is the right thing that they've done. Like the end game is the monuments are coming down. It's done, and he gets a little bit of credit for sticking himself into this. I don't think he expected to be abandoned by these people. And I think he's actually literally pissed off about it, and you can see them fighting with one another in public. And I think that's an interesting thing to watch. And it's one of the reasons, by the way, that I've been so interested in this entire issue the entire time, because it brings out these little bitty contradictions and hypocrisies, and it puts this up.
It's a revelator of sorts to see. Like even the people who were defending the monument, the hobos as you call them, they all had these weird reasons and none of it was what I was suspecting. But then I didn't trust their reasons either. They were all like, "Well, we need to preserve history and stuff." I'm like,
it's daddy issues.
Did their daddy beat them, or
or their daddy wasn't good enough, or their daddy was they're loomed large in their head, and he was and his daddy fought in the war and all this shit. It's all daddy issues. That's my theory.
Military-industrial complex. We have to keep fighting. Soldiers' creed, shit like that.
Yeah, people. I feel like a lot of those folks who place so much importance on tradition. This is what I was taught, and therefore I don't have to think anything else. It's covering up for some other insecurity.
How they let daddy down.
Yeah.
Or daddy kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Or worse.
I don't know what's on people's minds. I really
don't.
It
was.
But what I do know is that those particular individuals, they aren't relevant. I mean, they're just part of
But they make themselves relevant when they show up and they get covered by the news. So,
right. But
they're not relevant to Jeff.
But they're not relevant
when they show up.
They're not relevant to the actual process at hand because it's already done. We've already won. It's going to happen. This is just the goofy sideshow that's happening.
I mean, it might not happen if they can't find contractors to do the shit.
I think
that's why we need to tear them down ourselves. With the rope.
If it comes to that.
Just like Saddam Hussein got done.
If it comes to that.
That would be so fun.
For me, it's not over until it's over.
Well, here's the thing.
And Yogi Berra.
What I'm glad that we got to do is I'm glad we got to go have the toppling party at Jefferson Davis.
That wasn't a toppling party.
It was
no
toppling. It was the beginning toppling party.
It was a premature toppling party.
There's another one on Sunday. That's going to be
fun.
There's going to be a march from Congo Square all the way to Lee Circle. And I think it's at 1 o'clock on Sunday?
Yeah, something like that.
So
that's going to be a hard one to take down.
DSA will be there. We're doing it.
I think I'm going to go check it out. It's, I'm off, so why not? But that's going to be the next thing. I kind of hope that Mitch comes out and says something. I think if I were him, I would make an appearance at this.
He definitely needed to show up and deal with the situation that was happening at the Jeff Davis Monument, because it was just like, look, the city, the fact that the guys, most of them, almost all of them, were not from New Orleans, really pissed me off. Because I was just like, first y'all said boycott New Orleans, and then y'all decided to show up, and second of all, this is like your state's rights issue that you fucking get all up in your fucking
right.
It's a city, it's a municipal fucking.
Also, can I share the funniest thing from Monday night, which was that there was this one beardy dude who was so pissed because somebody spit in his face, and he was absolutely sure that person had HIV, and so that he had just been given HIV.
It was aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Because a lady spit in his face, and he spent at least 90 minutes trying to stay on the phone with 911 to get somebody to come out and file a fucking report or take him to the hospital or whatever. Because he was convinced that this lady had given him HIV by spitting in his face. It was amazing.
Oh my God.
All of the police were there.
I know.
There's no reason to call 911.
Well, he couldn't get any of them to talk to him, so... I mean, he was Looney Tunes.
He was. But that also highlights just the degree to which that whole scene is divorced from reality.
Totally.
It's like none of that is... It was fun to watch.
But you and I have disagreed about the proper reaction of these people, because you think that they should just be ignored. And I disagree, because I think there is some value in standing up to these people and saying, no, this is our neighborhood and we live here and we don't like you and get the fuck out.
I definitely think they should be ignored generally. But if they show up they come from out of town to go sit and squat in front of a statue, fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm totally like, oh yeah, the assholes will die off. I'm often like, hey, let's not non-confrontational, just keep it real. But as soon as they fucking showed up and they started squatting, I was like, no, don't come here. You guys to step the fuck off. Even though I wasn't there on Sunday, I definitely wanted to be. I drove by and harassed them several times. I screamed "Go Falcons" at them.
Okay, I'm sure they got that one.
I don't think they did, but it made me feel good. Because they lost too.
Yeah.
The Falcons and the Confederacy both lost.
All right.
That's a great note to move on to our next topic.
Yeah.
Wait, also we're having several different beers tonight from the Urban South Brewery. I just had a Holy Roller IPA, and it tasted a little bit like, I don't know, Sierra Nevada, Wrought Iron IPA, Giacomo IPA, a fucking IPA.
Any of
so
the IPAs.
So please stop making IPAs, fucking name. Beer companies.
Aren't all craft beers kind of, I don't know.
It's fucking ridiculous. Alli had a charming wit. How was that? That's from what?
Yeah, that's also Urban South.
Also an Urban South?
Those are actually good.
I like it.
Yeah.
It was. It's a refreshing light here.
Speaking of which, do you guys want to take
What did you have, Jeff?
Well, I've got a Miller Lite here, and I had... what is this even? This is a...
It's got Antifa on the cover.
It's
on the label.
Who the hell are these people?
Southern Prohibition.
Southern Prohibition Brewing.
They're from Hattiesburg.
From Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And it is
really?
Crowd Control.
Oh, wait, yeah. Sorry, I'm confusing them with Great Raft.
That is Antifa.
Crowd Control. There's a picture of an angry young lady with a gas mask on.
And cleavage.
Yeah, well, you got to have that.
Yeah, I've read a story about how much...
She has an ascot on. What cleavage are you talking about?
I don't see an ascot
there.
Maybe I'm just seeing what I want to.
Yeah.
And what I want to see is...
The mind's eye.
Boobs.
Congratulations.
Nice.
All right, cool.
Anyway,
can we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break and then...
Well, how is it, though?
It's an IPA, like you said.
Oh, okay.
They're all IPAs. Let's take a break and then we'll...
Let us know if we can help you, ladies.
Next thing.
Did I already say that? Okay, I'm sorry. My short-term memory is not what it used to be.
Was it?
Was it?
What I like
It's
about
always been on.
I'm liking being in the gallery.
I kind of like this too, but only because the weather is absolutely the best day of weather we've had all year long.
Oh, that's
It is.
true. God, if we
And
can't,
it's a bonus, too. It's cold in May.
Cold in May. Just savor these days, man, because we won't get them again until December.
oh God, yeah, and you just ruined it for me. Actually, I'm
You're
imagining.
welcome. You're
I'm
welcome.
imagining being here
You
like.
spoke like a true New Orleanian, too, by saying till December, which everybody really knows is the truth.
Yeah. Oh, we won't get like a high of 63 during the day until after Thanksgiving.
Who knows when it's going to happen again, really, with the state
Really?
of the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll hit nuclear fallout before we
The
get to
globe is
this
warming
weather
at
again.
such a rate.
Yeah, not till late December.
If you're thinking about getting a mortgage, you want to go for that 10 or 15 year mortgage. Don't even think about that 30, because you're fucked.
I went to the most depressing climate change event
Oh boy.
a couple weeks ago. The Linns hosted this thing at the Jazz Market, where
Sounds like we're exactly all the problems are going to get solved.
Right.
The hands at the jazz market.
Exactly.
That's when the tide was turned at that meeting.
I did congratulate them at being at my favorite venue in the city, but it was about the effect of coastal erosion on the native and Vietnamese communities, like outside of Homa, and their foodways mostly, like because there was this report that they published by a food blogger and food podcaster whose name escapes me at the moment. Well, I'll put it in the show notes, I guess, since I brought it up. But it was depressing because it was just about how these people have lost access to the land where they grew their crops and the food that they shared with each other and the stuff that they in their fishing grounds and everything just being despoiled by climate change. And why did I bring it up? Oh, because we're talking about how there's not going to be another winter.
Not going to be a future.
Yeah.
Well,
No-
for old folks
no
like
future.
us, or for
We
like
live in the
Jeff and
zone
I,
now.
there's not going to be a future anyway. It's just because the one thing that about global warming is, and when I think about it, and it is a constant threat, and I totally believe it's happening and everything, but I mitigate it in certain ways. One is that I'm not going to be around when it does fucking finally hit. And as I've gotten older, as you know from my recycling techniques and such, I've realized that hey, my time to do something has passed, and that I can still continue to do it, but I'm not going to see the results.
Old man
of it.
Lance.
God, you're so wrong about all of that.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to live much longer. I'm going to live 20 years, 30 years at most.
That's a pretty long time.
But anything, I'm not going to stop it. Myself, I'm not going to stop anything in that time. The millennials are, but I can only do so much in this time.
Yes, but we can all do something.
And I do. And you are sitting here, just like the people from Seattle a few weeks, in the temple of recycling that I've created, telling me that I need to do something. And I do something, as you can look around and see.
I'm
What
not
I'm
telling
saying
you that
is,
you need to do jack shit. I'm saying that we are all capable.
we are. And good folks like you and me and Jeff, we do stuff. But with as it relates to global warming, first of all, it's not an extinction event. It's a life-changing event. It's going to alter civilization and humanity and our species. It's not going to in any way eliminate it. It's just going to fuck shit up for a long time.
It's
But
the ultimate disruptor.
it is, and I don't
That's
think
the problem,
anybody
though. Like
around us thinks that our species is just going to smoothly flow into the future without any sort of revolution or any sort of cataclysmic event or any sort of huge altering event. And it seems to me that we're not going to get this thing together to prevent climate change from happening. It's going to happen, and it's going to be a shock to all of us, and it's not going to kill us. So what it's going to do is it's just going to change everything, and we're going to survive it. So I'm sort of convinced.
Some of us will survive it. Some of us won't.
Some of us won't. But people, and I said this on Twitter a little while back, that's how fucking humanity learns. Like, think of humanity as one huge fucking organism. Not as us all being little individuals, but as this one huge species organism. And it doesn't learn. Like, I grind my teeth, right? I used to grind my teeth a lot. I chipped a tooth like 5 days ago from grinding it too much. Have not ground my teeth fucking since.
Shit, I had a dream about that the other night.
About chipping a tooth from grinding?
Yeah, in my dream, one of my teeth was like rotten, and and I hit it, and it like fell apart in my mouth.
Oh,
and that happened in my dream.
The rotten teeth dream it means something. I don't know what it means. Yeah, it does mean something.
No,
people have it a lot. Hey guys, let us know if we can help you. Yeah, we're open. We're having a podcast. We're talking about global warming and how it's going to fuck everybody up and how it's inevitable.
Yeah, about the healthcare reform.
Yeah, well, hold on now. One horrible fucking thing at a time, y'all.
It's hard to keep up with it all.
I know.
Seriously.
That's what we're talking about.
The world's gotten mad.
The world has always been mad.
There you go. The world's always been mad.
Crazier than I thought.
America was never great.
I think you start to realize how crazy it is the older you get. Anyways, I forgot what the fuck I was going to... Oh,
so my rotten teeth dream.
You were talking about her teeth.
I chipped a tooth, and that made me stop. I haven't ground my teeth or grinded my teeth since. So that's what it's going to take. People have to die. Horrible things have to happen, and it sucks as it does, and I know it's going to affect poor people more than anybody else.
I have to know what my dream means.
We're not going to be able to prevent it, so it's just going to fucking happen.
Great. That's a great sign.
You've only had one? It's not a series of dreams?
No, I don't know that I've ever had dreams in a series. My brain's just on to the next. Always.
So the other comment I was going to make is that, the world is always going to shit. We're never going to reach this point where all the problems are solved and everybody's life is better. We can only, spend our time here deciding to do the things that we can do, knowing our limitations, obviously, but
our severe limitations.
Exactly. But as you get to be an older person like you and I are, and you realize
HIV.
that you're not going to see
that.
You're not going to see the.
Why bother?
Well, no.
Don't do it for the kids. Fuck the kids.
That's
kids
not the
are
point.
fine. They're going to see weird shit at the Sanger.
So, but my point is
that's what they care about.
My point is that you can always do something, and you can always...
Yeah, I do. So I have a complex system that I've been working on for many years, and it's going to sound probably pretty weird. But first of all, you're wrong. Things aren't getting worse. Things are getting a lot better. Many people are dying less of disease.
That should make you feel even better.
We're as a species, we're procreating. We're kicking fucking ass. As a species, we're kicking fucking ass. We are totally... above and beyond so many fucking things. We have opposable thumbs. We have everything you see around us. We are just so kicking the ass of every other species on Earth. Okay, and we're continuing.
I think that might be the problem, actually. But
well, is it?
There's no balance in our ecosystem anymore.
Well,
we're having extinction events.
But those have happened 5 or 6 times already. Okay, that has happened 5 or 6 times already on Earth. So it happens all the time. So.
Okay, but ever on Earth is a much longer period than the Anthropocene that we're living in right now. Boy, we got really esoteric really fast.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
true.
not trying to.
Well,
I'm not. And we didn't mean to.
It is natural for us to think everything's going to shit because that's how you continue to advance. You never get satisfied. You never become comfortable on your perch.
I'm trying to figure out this. There's no cosmic scoreboard that you need to think forward to.
There is. There's nobody else out in the universe that we know of, so we cannot consider them. And the next thing we have to think about as far as successful societies is what? Ants?
I think there's a lot we don't know about animal life and how sophisticated it is. So I think
you're right.
Fucking ants?
Well, they are
a school for ants?
They're very successful, but
how can they learn if they can't even fit inside the building?
They've done mad shit. I have never seen them fucking make art. I've never heard a rock concert, but they do magnificent shit, and I'm not dogging on ants or dolphins or plankton. They just don't appear to be, or elephants. They're pretty badass. We clearly fucking rule the planet though, because we can just go roll up in there and.
Yeah, we invented guns. I mean, I think we kind of.
Well, also ballet,
weapons,
HD television. This beer we're drinking, we've done a lot of good things also, so let's not... I'm saying as a species, we have totally fucking kicked ass and continue to do so.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such nature films as Earwigs, Ooh, and Man vs. Nature, The Road to Victory.
And we will continue to do so as long as we always think we're miserable. We always think we're not doing enough. Everything
some people
fucking
are miserable.
sucks.
I mean, there are like millions.
I mean,
of
as a
people
species,
starving to death in Yemen right now.
I know, you're right.
Like we don't. The inequality between our species is our biggest failing as a species.
We're gonna be fine, is what I'm saying.
No, we're not. Well,
we are. There's gonna be a huge die off, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Whoa, we were totally doing things."
All that matters is what we do in the meantime, because that's what life is in the meantime, right? And how do we, what is just today? And what is...
Drinking beer and dancing and sex and stuff? Chinese buffets? Hedonism? It could be all there is.
There are things that you can do today to affect, in a small way, the wealth of your community and the welfare of your community, and
you're right.
You can't worry about things on too large a scale, and you can't worry about things on too micro scale. You just have to think about...
You could totally think of things on too micro scale and just be a complete... Anyways, you're right.
This is a huge digression.
Digressing.
Yeah.
We should talk about our friend who passed away, who made a lot of difference this past week, and who affected a lot of change, who is a complete example of someone who made a huge difference in all of our lives.
Yeah, our friend Deb Cotton died this week, and
she was a real star, a real shining star, a real bright light in our community. In that there was two of her. There was her before she got shot, who fierce and loyal and very deep covering of brass bands, second line culture, and just how enthusiastic she was about that, and how well she covered it, and how well she got it and understood it. And then she had this event that created a completely different and so much more suddenly important figure, in that she was shot at one of these events and then did what everybody... we all talk about crime and what happens in that culture and such, but we all talk about it in a way that's detached from it, because we've never been victims of it.
Because we haven't been... Well, right. Not all of us.
Well, I mean, not in that way.
No.
We've gotten robbed or whatever, or witnessed it, or read a story, or something happened near us, but in no way, shape, or form like what happened to Deb. And then, I've always wondered, I hate the death penalty. I'm so against it. But and one of the arguments of people who are against it, who are for it, say to me, is well, you wouldn't feel the same way if it was your mother or your wife or your child who had been murdered. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what'll happen then. I would like to think that I would still be able to forgive the person who did it. But I don't know.
Right.
Because that's a different side of my personality that would take over. It's not my intellect then. It's my heart, my soul, and my feelings. And she did it,
She did.
She stepped forward in spite of all the trauma that had been visited upon her, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in every way. She suddenly had to endure something physically, and then she also had to endure something in front of everybody.
Yeah.
She wasn't just able to go through this very, gripping trauma privately.
Because
everybody wanted to...
She was a public figure, right. And everyone wanted to put their expectations on her and how she was going to react to it.
She had been somebody before that who had stood up and said, I am this person who embraces and celebrates and wants to spread the magic of second line culture and brass band culture and the music of New Orleans and the cultures of New Orleans. And then at that event that just moved us all and shook us all and made us all just so sad. She was the figure who got stuck, who got thrust into that spotlight.
Right.
So she had to go through that trauma herself, but then she also had to go through it like outwardly. Like,
right.
So we all have like kind of two personalities, right? We have how we project ourselves and who we really are, you know. And both of her sides got shocked.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me to speak to what you're saying right now. I want to read something that Jarvis DeBerry wrote this week. It's just one paragraph from a column that he wrote. I think it came out either today or yesterday, but it was about Deb having just accepted last week an award from a group called Avoda New Orleans. Is
Avoda.
It? Avoda.
Yeah.
It's a Jewish social justice group. And she gave a speech there where, well, let me just read what Jarvis said. He says, during her acceptance speech on April the 23rd, she described what she said to the young men, meaning the young men who had shot her.
The Scott brothers, I think.
As they were being sentenced in federal court. She said she didn't know what had happened in their lives to make them do what they did. But I still love you. And I'm not talking about fake love. I'm talking about real love. And I'm going to be here for you. And you are connected to me permanently. And I want to support you. And I want to be here for you. And, you know, that's Deb talking to the young men who assaulted the second line where she was eventually fatally shot. And that's the kind of life that she lived. And this is just about a week ago. You know, it's similar to the Rising Tide speech that she made. She talked about, at that time, the troubles that she was going through trying to decide whether or not she wanted to testify at their trial even.
Yeah. And she quivered when she spoke of it.
And she talked about how, I mean, she had just written another article about how she wasn't angry at them. But she was angry at the community, you know, for letting this happen, and how, like, our responsibility to everyone in our community, we failed them, is basically what she told us that day. I mean, Deb was an amazing person.
Yeah, she was, and very eloquent, a beautiful writer, brilliant, and just God, it seems like a not of this earth almost, you know, an angel. You know, I mean, not in a biblical way, but in a way that's just like, wow, this person was here, and they were always sort of, I don't know. It takes a lot to a person you don't expect to forgive someone who caused them, to be able to forgive their murderers before they die. You don't expect, that's not a person. A person's a person you expect to be real fucking pissed off and bitter at somebody.
Yeah.
At least the people that I'm used to, and the people that we all have to fucking deal with every day. You just expect the same things out of them. You don't expect them to make a call like that. So, I mean, it's like somebody was put in a position and did the right fucking thing, and you seldom see that. You know, you seldom see somebody who does what's right. You so many times you look at a situation, it's like, please just do the right thing, please just do the right thing, and they don't. It happens mostly.
It happened today.
It happens
in Congress.
Yeah, in Congress today. Nobody did the right thing. She did.
But I mean, I think it shows the range of what is a normal reaction, right? Like, not everyone would do what she did, and that's actually okay. You know, like, I don't think you necessarily, I don't know that we should expect everyone to reach that height that she reached, because what she did was exceptional. What she did was practice radical love and forgiveness in a way that most people aren't capable of. I think that it's good to know that about each other, like, that we wouldn't necessarily react that way if that happened to us. But we have to know that that's possible. And she showed us that it's possible, and that we can, you know, as a society, as a community, we can kind of design around that, you know? Like, we can build our institutions, our community, our criminal justice system, our are support systems for each other in ways that try and bring out that height that she reached, rather than assume the worst in each other, or assume even the average in each other.
Yeah.
And that radical love is what I will remember the most about her, because I never, like, I've gone to some second lines, but I didn't connect with her on that level. But God, I so appreciated and admired and just was gobsmacked by her ability to react the way she did after she got shot. And I think it's phenomenal.
She was, I know it's going to sound horrible, but she was the only person who could have done that. So there was nobody else on the planet who could have, in that situation, done that. So it sucks. The whole fucking thing sucks. But out of that, it was just like, she was the unique person for that to happen to, so she could do that. Anybody else, without her background or without her being around second line so much or understanding them so much, would not have had that same reaction. She just happened to be the one. And she was one of us, you know. She was like one of those post-Katrina, just like we all came together, you know. She was part of that group.
Yeah.
And
I marched with her in Mamaroo a couple years ago.
Hell yeah.
It was really special. She got to come with us, and she felt, and she loved it. She relished it. So that was really cool. I got to do that with her.
Yeah. I remember asking a question, I think Rising Tide 3, when our little table first got together.
That was the first time I remember meeting her. And I even think that she, didn't introduce herself to me, but she, the first time I realized who she was when she stood up and asked a question at Rising Tide. She had I remember.
I think it was the media panel.
She introduced herself as, I'm Big Red Cotton. And the whole room, just stopped and applauded her already. She had already had that kind of reputation. And I remember that very well. The other thing I was trying to tell Alli the other day was that she's one of those people who, whenever you talk to them, I don't know why, but you always try to make them laugh. She's just, whatever it was about her, if you could you could be impressive or goofy enough to her to make her smile and laugh at you. That was very rewarding in some way.
Yeah.
And that's true, I guess, of a lot of people. But from her, it was really that. And I don't know.
And she was a force, you know. Always very vividly dressed, and flowers in the hair, and the big hair, and the big smile, and a huge personality. And a light has gone out. And we are definitely dimmed.
I thought it might be a good idea to honor her a little bit, was to talk about a couple of things that were important to her that were also in the news this particular week when she passed. And I thought that was interesting. One, she was just last week was in the news advocating for the dignity of these young men who shot her, but also she was in the New York Times just today. A friend sent an article that she had written, or a letter she had written to the New York Times about the New Orleans District Attorney's Office and the way they intimidate and harass victims and witnesses to crimes. Cannizzaro has been threatening to put people in jail for not testifying.
Right.
He has charged...
He's really stinking up the place lately.
He has threatened to charge people with perjury if they recant testimony. He has... the Lins broke the story last week that he has been issuing fake subpoenas to potential witnesses or even victims, that they're required to appear in court or speak to the district attorney's office under penalty of law or threat of arrest, which he has no right to do.
No, it's very, very illegal.
And
he's also been prosecuting members of the public defender's office for investigating.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a whole other thing.
That was another thing that came out in The Guardian this week. was about these investigators for the public defender's office, that he's literally like ruined their lives with these charges because they can't get them to go away because they're constantly under threat of indictment for absolute bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I've come to the conclusion that the most important thing that we can do to improve this city today is to get rid of Cannizzaro as soon as fucking possible.
Which isn't going to be for a couple of years.
Unless we can, like, force him out or something. He's a cancer on this earth. The man is a virus. I'm so
Hey, keep
done
it
with
down out there. Jesus, they're so loud. You're right. Yeah, well, you can't force him out. We tried to do that with Eddie Jordan, but didn't he end up resigning?
He did end up resigning.
Yeah, he ended up resigning. So, yeah, you can force him out.
So
Let's do it.
I don't know if Cannizzaro is fucked up as much as Eddie Jordan did, though.
Well, here's... He's doing a lot of damage.
He's doing a lot.
But he's got boys. Like, he's part of a political faction here in town.
District attorneys are powerful motherfuckers. They have the...
Isn't there like a little political group versus another political group that he's a part of? Can we map all this, Jeff? I have to pee while you do that.
I'm going to map it.
Keep it down out there.
I will tell you a little bit more about some of the issues that Deb pointed to, specifically with regards to the district attorney's office. There was a group called Court Watch NOLA.
Yep.
Do you know these people?
Uh-huh.
They issued a report last week about this particular witness intimidation issue with the district attorneys, and they found that in 2016 alone, there were 6 victims, crime victims, the DA had arrested.
Great.
And 9 more that he tried to have arrested. And among those, one was a rape victim, one had a gun pointed at her. And Deb went on to talk about how this goes on. That's not only just our DA; it's a lot of places. And that's the other thing I wanted to point out about this is that this goes on everywhere. The Lynn's also found that this fake subpoenas issue happens in Jefferson Parish. It happens other places.
Well, it's good to know that they're talking to each other across parish lines.
Oh yeah, they all go to the same conferences and bars and shit.
The coffee clutch.
That's right.
They're all hanging out at Royal Blend.
They'll go to
swapping their fake subpoena strategies.
Newell Norman's Coffee Clutch, where they all decide who they're going to prosecute and who they're not going to prosecute. That's the other thing. This week the legislature has been doing their criminal justice reform package. The governor reached some very important compromises with the district attorneys. One of them involved the habitual offender law, which the DA always uses to demand the maximum charge whenever he can. Some other things that they were looking to do with parole for nonviolent offenders. The DA's kind of put the kibosh on that a little bit. So they're still.
I'm gonna start following the legislature.
Yeah.
So you can. So I can contribute to these conversations.
Well, I'm telling you right now about this shit because...
No, I don't want to hear from you.
Okay.
I want to read about it.
Unfortunately, neither do our listeners.
And draw my own conclusions.
That's fine.
About it.
Here, you should follow on Twitter Elizabeth Crisp and Julia O'Donoghue, who are the respective state capitol reporters for the Advocate and the Times-Picayune. And you should also obviously read their stuff because they do a really good job.
Okay.
They're very good.
Now, I don't think I want to do it that
others,
way.
But okay.
I guess.
All right.
Anyways, look forward in the next year, Hunker Downcast listeners, to maybe some more funner Louisiana legislature discourse.
Okay.
You're going to start explaining the legislature?
No, I'll still let Pants explain it. But I'm thinking about more playing the straight man role.
Okay.
He can be play-by-play. I'll be color.
All right.
And I'll just sit here?
What was the other guy in the booth? There's play-by-play and there's color.
Reporter. That's what you're doing.
No, stop. Hold on. No, jump to conclusions now. There was 3 guys.
Wait, do you have the ascot for this?
There's 3 guys in the Monday Night Football booth, and one of them's play-by-play, and one of them's color, and then there's whoever's the next guy.
There's 2 guys in the booth, and there's
now there is because you're a fucking millennial. But back in the day, there used to be 3 dudes in there.
There were.
And what was the other guy? He wasn't a sideline reporter.
He was.
I ain't making you Suze. Although if I was I would love to be Suze. I want to kiss her. Just
Susan
like Joe
Goldberg?
Namath. I'm not saying that you're Suze. I'm saying you're whomever that third guy in the booth was. There was Dandy Don, and there was fucking Howard Cosell, and then
the third dude that nobody remembers. That's who I get to be.
I don't. Well, no, we don't. We're sorting this out. We don't know who's going to be what.
And then in the 80s,
this is going to be play-by-play guy because he's wonky about the Louisiana legislature.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to be a color guy because I don't know shit about it, but I can just. I'm like Fred Willard in Best in Show. You know, I'm not the guy who knows the breeds. It's the guy who wants to
I'm
put
Al
him
Michaels.
in a Sherlock Holmes outfit and shit.
I'm Al Michaels. Alli is Dan Deerdorf, and you are Frank Gifford. Apparently,
Was Frank Gifford the color guy?
And Frank Gifford was the wild card. You're
He
actually
could do anything.
You're actually Dennis Miller in this group, I think.
Shut the fuck up. I'm going to fight you.
Whoa.
Jeff and Lance are fighting right now. Oh my god.
No slamming the mics.
Oh, you're right. These are new mics. What else is there, Jeff?
So there's one more Deb kind of related issue that I think we should bring up, and it's that the Times-Picayune this week reported on this discrepancy between what second-line organizations are charged for parades versus what Mardi Gras parades are charged for their fees, and also what like little groups like the David Bowie second line, and the other special event second lines. It turns out that the neighborhood second line.
Anybody who has a dead friend who wants to throw him a funeral, basically. Mm-hmm. Do they pay the same thing that the David Bowie second line does?
Probably so.
Someday never comes.
That the social aid and pleasure clubs are charged like orders of magnitude more for these second
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're charged like $3,000 to $4,000 for a second line when Bacchus only has to pay like $700.
Yeah, the lady who was quoted in the Picayune, who she represents the VIP ladies who are a Central City second lining group. They this year paid $3,225. The crew of Bacchus paid $1,000, and the David Bowie people paid $650.
By the David Bowie people, you mean Arcade Fire?
That's exactly who we mean. Basically. Yes. So there's this huge discrepancy, amongst these groups.
Well, it's not huge in any way. Nobody pays a whole shit ton of money for parades, is what you're saying.
$3,225.
To zero.
What do you mean?
Like, nobody pays a whole lot of money to throw a parade in New Orleans, is what you're saying. That's what I'm gathering from that.
$3,225 versus...
None of that sounds exorbitant to me.
No, but the point is the second lines should not be paying more than fucking Mardi Gras crews, because the cleanup costs and all the costs of policing those Mardi Gras crews are way more, because the crowds are so much bigger. So, they are not paying proportional to their impact.
How much do we think they should Bacchus should pay?
I think they should be charged the same.
Well, Bacchus should be paid more.
Or Bacchus should be charged more. Absolutely.
How much do you think they should pay? 20 grand?
I don't know. I don't know what it costs.
Let's have a little city council meeting right here where the three of us decide.
I don't have enough information.
Well, we need the spreadsheets and the cost analysis and all the other stuff.
Man.
Let's start at 20 grand and see if it goes down.
The point is that there's a discrepancy involved. And what was really fun about this article is that they went and asked Clark Brennan, who is the captain of Bacchus, obviously. And
there's a Clark Brennan. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, there's so many fucking Brennans.
And Landrieux,
right?
So Kevin Landrieu. Who's the one? Go ahead.
Here's what Clark Brennan says. He says, the thing I go back on is, what is Mardi Gras doing for the entire city of New Orleans?
They always do that.
Compared to, and this is what he says, Joe Blow's Social Aid and Pleasure Club just talking about their neighborhood. And he says, I don't know the economic engine, and
Clark
I don't
Brennan
think there is
this
one.
Gentleman's name?
Yes.
That sounds like something Clark Brennan would say.
It might be one of the douchier things said this week.
They caught him coming out of that.
And this is a week in which Congress removed health care from 30 million people in a row.
Right. Actually, the douchiest thing was Reince Priebus's quote about it afterwards.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Or do you want to do that now?
Let's do that now, because this segment, it doesn't have much time left in it, and then we got to close out.
I want to go back to this Reince Priebus Rance Priebus, quote...
Jedi Master Rance Priebus? No, Sith Lord Rance Priebus.
While exiting the GOP cloakroom, said, the president stepped up and helped punt the ball into the end zone.
Punt the ball into the end zone?
Punt.
That's exactly what you're not supposed to do.
Exactly.
You're supposed to pin that fucker on the 1 yard line, man. Come on, Rance.
Hey, also,
why does he punt?
Right, they punted a touchdown. Good job.
Nothing good happened there.
They kick-sixed it.
Like you totally could have gone for the fucking field goal, but instead you punted the thing into the end zone. What's up, Peter? We're recording our podcast right now. You have anything you want to say?
Yeah.
Peter's got something to say, y'all. What do you play out there on Jackson Square?
I'm not worried about that right now. Tomorrow, I'm getting a new dog.
Oh! Peter's getting a new dog tomorrow? Is it a full-grown dog or a puppy?
Year and a half.
Okay. Where are you getting him or her from?
Same angel of a person who gave me KD 13 years ago.
Oh, so there's going to be a natural progression there, a link.
Yep. And I'll find out tomorrow noon when she brings the pup down from Picayune.
Oh, okay. And what kind of dog is
My
it?
dog came from Picayune, too.
Don't know.
That's where dogs come from.
You're going to meet her tomorrow. It's almost like a blind date.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's a blind marriage is what it is.
It's an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
It's like brides.ru or something.
It's quite an outfit.
Wow, that is great news.
Yep, thanks. I'm real pleased.
Hell yeah. And we're going to see y'all walking around the corner and everything? Hell yeah.
On a leash. First
It's
male,
a he?
First male I've ever had.
Whoa.
Fixed.
Y'all are going to be bros.
He's already used to walking on a leash, which is good because when Katie was getting older, I had to break her to a leash, and she did not like that one single bit.
No, indeed. Who does?
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
Does he have a name already?
Yes.
So you don't get to name him?
No.
He's going to show up with a name.
Yeah, he's had the name for a year and a half already, so
he answers.
So he knows his name
to it and all that whatnot.
Well, I know I wrote it down.
Either way, we'll get to it.
I'll introduce you tomorrow.
Hell yeah!
All right.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would get one real quick.
I had not planned on getting one this quick.
Well, you know.
Storm knows that I need a dog in my life.
That's her name?
No, that's the lady
that's going to bring it to you? Storm.
Yeah, Storm.
Hell yeah.
Storm BJ.
No, that's good news.
Yep. Thanks,
right on.
guys.
That's
Enjoy.
love.
Have
Likewise.
fun.
Peace.
Podcast. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You know what one is, huh? That's great news. Yeah. No, really. That is really good news because that dude right there and his dog used to roll. Y'all had to have seen him at some point, huh?
Yeah.
Y'all weren't ever in here with him?
No, I've seen him before.
He plays glass.
Yeah, this is the glass harmonica guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody, and the dog was just getting older and older, and everyone was worried, like, who's gonna pass away first, and the dog died, and we're like, oh God, is Peter gonna be okay? Is it gonna be one of those things? No. Fuck yeah, he did exactly what you're supposed to do when your dog dies. You get another fucking dog immediately.
You get right back up
It's
on the
not
dog.
like a fucking spouse.
Yes.
It's not like a fucking parent or something. With a dog, you can replace that motherfucker almost immediately. Hell yeah, I'm so happy now.
Well, that's good.
All right, go ahead and talk about the fucked up Republicans. I'm going to sit this out. I'm going to sit over here and be happy while y'all bitch about the Republicans.
I don't actually want to spend that much time on it because it is so fucked up that, like, I don't know. There's not much to say. It's one of the worst things that's happened in months. Like, it's absolutely abominable.
Yeah, we really just felt like obligated to touch on it because it's a disgusting thing that happened today. And, I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, well, the Senate will fix it. No, I'm not confident in that at all. So it's bad. People's lives are in danger, and fuck them for doing this.
Yeah.
It was funny that Rance doesn't know what punting is or like what a bad or good punt is. Also,
I read something that made fun of him by saying, "Hey, look, Rance tried to perform masculinity and failed."
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
The punt went into the end zone because fourth down is a pre-existing condition and there was no coverage.
For you to punt into the end zone, you have to have been driving. There has to have been some hope in that drive.
Right, but you have to. Right, but you also have failed, and Rance wants to have, lauded their success, which ends in a punt, which also doesn't go well. So he's an idiot, basically.
The Democrats are getting the ball on the 20-yard line.
Right. Well, so they think. Actually, the Democrats think that they're suddenly going to win the midterms because of this. And fuck, no, they have work to do.
Oh, God.
They have to.
They're so bad.
If they aren't ready to campaign on a coherent and positive healthcare message, then no, this is not a gift to them. They still need to do some work. And
Pelosi said today, she got asked the question point blank, is single payer going to be part of the Democrats' platform in 2018? And she said no.
Yep,
so that's it. Game over.
Well, there you go.
This party is not going to get it done.
But there's time. There's time to keep yelling at them.
We got to keep pushing them and got to keep primarying them.
So, it's like the Saints. I think the Dems are going to finish 7-9 this next season.
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
Oh, it's going to be rough.
It does.
All right, what else we got to cover? We got to.
Yeah.
No, let's just take a break and then a very short break and then we'll go straight into our segments.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do a quick break.
Love your life, it's alright to go party at the second line down in New Orleans. Have your fun in the sun, bring no gun to the party. Everything's lovely, my little Farley. And expect the best, respect the rest. Don't worry, be happy, it's later than you think. Make love all night, don't fight, be nice, don't worry, be happy, it's later than you think. I love you, you love me, can't you see us together? Baby, forever, just flying around the world. Come with me, let's go see how they be in Jamaica, the Bahamas, pretty mama. Stay strong, don't roam, go home, the streets gon' be here, don't worry, and you ain't gon' miss a thing. We smoke, we drink, I think we can't stop smoking and drinking, cause we love them fireweed.
Okay, and we're back, and this is the final segment of the show, and looks like there's flashing lights outside of the Deurty Boys right now. I don't know what's going on. Was that
There was an amber lamps.
An ambulance?
Amber lamp.
Ambulance. Okay, so it wasn't like
an alabance?
Abalance.
Still more going on.
Everything's okay.
Everything's going on. It's time for SOSO.
All right.
The things that have been going on in our life.
Who wants to SOSO first tonight?
SOSO stands for stepping on, stepping out, just in case anybody forgot.
What did I do? I watched S-Town. Or no, I'm sorry. I listened to S-Town.
Okay, what is S-Town?
So
it's a podcast.
Other people do podcasts.
What's that? No shit.
Yeah, there are a lot of podcasts out there.
I
Bill
thought that
O'Reilly
this was
going to
the
do
only
one. Apparently, Mark Maron does one, and Obama was on it. I think Mitch Landrieu, and I'm calling you out, bro. You need to have your Obama on Mark Maron's podcast moment by coming on the Hunger Downcast.
Oh, he should come to the gallery.
He should come to the gallery. I know he's an art lover. He was around Jackson Square recently. Rumor is maybe he groped one of the other artists, although I don't entirely trust the version of events that I had heard go down. So I'm sort of on...
That does sound a little fishy.
I'm sort of on Mitch's side about this.
Was it Swamp Molly?
It It was not.
Okay.
No one has seen her.
All right.
So I think he should come on. He should come on this podcast.
He should definitely. He should
Go
come
on,
here.
Hunker Dunk.
It's going to be your Obama on Mark Maron. What's the name of Maron's podcast? No podcast. No holds barred. Or I don't know.
I'm just saying that he should come here because there's probably a free T-shirt in it for him.
And then he can just go kick it with Billy afterwards at the orgy house.
But he already has one of the Nola Love T-shirts, so it's not necessarily.
He does, but also we're going to have official Deurty Boys T-shirts coming out.
Okay, well, he needs to get one of those. Anyway, Mitch should come on the show anyway. We got a lot to talk to Mitch about.
To a podcast called S-Town, which stands for Shit Town. I hope that's not a spoiler, Alli.
Is that right?
Alli has not seen it. It was done by the people.
I've not seen it since it can only be heard.
It cannot. You're right. I listened to it. I thought it was pretty good. I certainly listened to it. I binge listened to it.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. And they pretty much tell you at the beginning that it goes nowhere. So that's good because it went nowhere. There was a lot of intriguing characters. It was done in that sort of This American Lifestyle. They have this way. It's like almost like Ken Burns has his way of doing documentaries, or
the slow pan over the photos with the music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keith David or Peter Coyote or whomever is narrating. Errol Morris has his little way of, his fast cuts and his old movies and stuff like that. So This American Life, whoever fucking runs all that shit, they're starting to get their little way with podcasts.
Okay.
And it has that way. Little musical interludes and, just a way. So listen to it if you're into that. I love This American Life, and I have always and always will. What did you do, Jeff?
You went to Jazz
I went to Jazz Fest, and I wanted to go Sunday, but we knew Sunday was going to be a washout, so instead we went on Saturday just to use the tickets. And there was nothing there that day that I wanted to see at all.
On Sunday?
On Saturday.
You can always find something that's good. A brass band or something.
I mean, yeah, you just go and you walk around and you kind of come up on whatever's there. And
because sometimes you don't know what's good until
it's better to do it that way anyhow, because you're not trying to make a schedule. You're not trying to get a spot, and you're just kind of wandering around.
Just let it happen to you.
Pretty much take it as it comes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we went and spent our exorbitant amount of money on food and beer, and walked around talking to people.
How much are beers now for 12 ounces?
What's the 12 ounce? These?
Yep.
Yeah, so these are 5, and then the tall boys, which you can get, are 7. But the thing about the tall boys is that they have started sending out beer mans, with coolers, so you don't have to wait in line. You just happen upon them, and you can buy a beer on the spot from those guys. But it's $7.
Yeah, I would totally sneak booze in.
Yeah,
it seems like a sneak booze in type thing.
It
I
is.
drinking at Jazz Fest. Am I the only one? I really just.
You definitely don't want to drink Miller Lite because you ain't going to get a buzz on.
It's too hot. I'd rather just hydrate and feel good, and I don't like drinking at Jazz Fest.
Smoke weed. I know you don't do that. I know you don't do that.
I would never dream of that. But that would be a better alternative than drinking.
Totally. You can sneak it in. You can keep doing it.
Hypothetically.
It gives to a better vibe and stuff.
If one were to do such things, yeah.
Right. Which we don't.
Of course not.
I mean, you don't. I don't really either, but not for that reason.
I can't not be in a crowd and not have something. I have to drink something.
But the point of Miller Lite is to just be able to drink and not really get that much of a buzz,
and to stay hydrated.
I would think if you're staying, Miller Lite doesn't hydrate you.
It stays hydrated, and it keeps you alert.
Does it hydrate you?
As opposed to any craft beer. Any craft beer, it just knocks you out after a couple.
It's true.
You get sleepy and sluggish, and you want to go to sleep.
This is the ethos of Miller Lite.
It's got it's all synthetic. It's got all preservatives and whatever kind of crap in there. But it stimulates you. It keeps you up.
Chemical sludge.
Exactly.
Brondo.
Do you really think it's all that?
Let's crave.
It is.
No.
Yes.
It's got electrolytes.
It keeps me up.
Feed it to the crops.
In fact, if I'm too drunk and I'm ready to go home at night and I need to drive, have a Miller Lite. Picks you right up.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
LHP?
I don't know about that, bud.
Anyway.
You did that.
Jasper, I'm trying to think if there was anything like important about it that we did that was different from what
It smelled
people
like
would
horse
normally
poop?
do. Yeah, I mean, that was normal.
Did you see any bachelor parties of all bros wearing the same T-shirt?
No.
Did you play SEC Bingo?
We talked about SEC Bingo, but we did not play SEC Bingo. We did experience some Confederates at the Beauregard Monument. They were what you would expect. Oh, they're doing this thing now on the track, like right behind the Acura stage. They've erected these huge, like, bleachers, so you can't, like, if there's a big act on the Acura stage, and the crowd has just filled it up, you can't stand back on the track and watch it anymore because you're behind these gigantic ass bleachers that are blocking your view. And I mean, they did this because there was a problem with people blocking the track a couple years ago. But now it's like a bad experience back there. If you're just like wandering around, you have to like find a place to peek in from out of the track. So that kind of sucks. I don't know. I think we saw some of Rebirth. We saw Johnny Swim, and we saw I think Jean Baptiste, and I think that was it.
See, that's the thing. If you don't have a big act that you want to see, you can just go see a local act.
Yeah, and we did a lot of that. We wandered around eating and sitting in the grass and shit, and it's nice. But I guess you could do it a lot cheaper anywhere you want to go and hang out. So,
if you're going to see local acts, yeah, but
yeah, that's my so-so, man. I didn't really do a whole lot else besides go to the monument party with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hey, DJ.
Yeah, I went to a monument party on Friday night and on Monday night. Saturday I did the climate march, the People's Climate March. That was put on by Our Revolution and a couple other folks.
Yeah.
That was all right. It was it had a weird, like almost like a pre-Katrina vibe to it, or definitely a pre-Trump vibe.
Pre-Trump vibe.
Yeah, it was like the old. It was
Trump-Trina.
It's a lot of people. I mean, it felt kind of like a school fair that was also a march. You know, like all the people with their different groups and their thing. You know, their thing that they care about. And like, you know, let's be more green, or let's stop this pipeline, or let's. You know, it's just it didn't have a necessarily most coherent message.
Oh, so you mean it like lacked like a unity of purpose, and it was more just people with their individual thing?
Yeah, it was more. I don't know.
No,
it just had a weird vibe to it.
I worry about that a lot. I worry that we're, you know,
and it felt like the same people who've come to every march for 20 years.
Yeah,
you know. But then on Monday, I took a couple hours off work and went to the May Day march with. It was Guest Workers Alliance and Congress for Racial Justice and Congress of Day Laborers and Unite Here and DSA participated in it. Youth Breakout. So it was like this really amazing coalition of immigrants, of Black trans youth, of socialists, of like all these folks, of union members, like everybody together. There was a band, which always helps, I think, when you're doing a march.
Sure.
But it was really, it was just a beautiful coalition of folks. And like I was looking around, I was like, the banners were amazing. Like everybody had these beautiful signs and these banners, and we had these great chants that were mostly in Spanish, but some were in English. It was just I just felt so glad to be part of that. And then we took those vibes into the weird barbecue / karaoke / monument toppling party on Monday night. So that was a crazy day.
That's right. I mean, I saw you guys and y'all had come from that day, right?
Yeah, we had done
Monday.
that earlier that day. Yeah, so we were all feeling really good because it was a beautiful event. But I did a couple other random things this week. On Tuesday night, Pat and I went to Paradigm Gardens, which is a working urban garden that also does these like chef dinners. You can buy tickets for them in advance.
Where is this exactly?
It's on Rampart Street and Clio.
Okay.
So it's over there by next to the new Central City Barbecue.
Right.
But it's been there a while, and it's like a working garden. restaurants can be a member, and then they can get some of the produce from it, as I understand it. But it was really good food and like beautiful setting, and they had baby goats that I met that were fun.
What did they taste like?
They were alive.
Tender.
Oh. So their names are Oatmeal and Raisin. They were really cute.
Oh, why'd they name them after food? That ain't cool.
And then the other thing I did was last night I went to Fake News, which is the show that the Dean's List comedy group puts on the first Wednesday of every month at 8:30 at the New Movement Theater. They do a show every Wednesday, but the first Wednesday of every month they do this Fake News show, which is really good and funny, and you guys should go to it.
The second time the Hunker Downcast has been at the Fake News event.
Yeah, it was. I've gone to both of them. I really like this thing they do called the time capsule. So like shortly after the show,
they did that again.
Yeah, they make a prediction video of what's going to be true by the next time, and it's like it's a video of them just recording their predictions about
They
stuff.
correctly predicted that North Carolina would win the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and made some pretty timely jokes about Melania being deported. So that was pretty good too.
The Hunker Downcast predicted that Bill O'Reilly would be all right.
Right, and we were wrong.
Well, no, he's all right. I mean, he got fired, but he's all right.
He got paid.
Yeah.
And he's going to continue to make money.
Yeah, he's
off
going to
of
be
his
all right.
Bullshit books and shit. Yeah, okay. He's all right. Bill's okay.
Yeah. So
Well, maybe we should make some predictions for the next Hunker Downcast. Let's say I think one of the statues is going to be down.
By the time we do this again?
By the time we record again. And we're not trying to bite on them. We were like, this is a good idea.
We're inspired.
Yeah.
Okay.
We would like to do it as well.
All right. So your prediction: which statue's coming down?
The one we're all fucking.
Jeff Davis?
Yeah.
Lee's
going to be last.
There was bucket truck activity out there today.
Yeah, they're staging.
So you're going with the safe pick.
Yep.
All right. You're picking Duke as your number one seed kind of thing. You're
Yep.
going with the safe one.
Yep. The Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl.
All right.
Yep.
I'm
going to act like I'm a total genius.
My prediction is that a member of Congress dies from an illness that was stemmed from a pre-existing condition.
Oh, the irony. Is that irony?
Yeah.
Or is that poetry? I don't know.
It'll be both when it happens.
A Republican member of Congress?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just a member of Congress. There's several hundred of them. One of them
Too
will die.
goddamn many. Jeff.
Billy Nungesser will get his own statue, and it will be of John Kennedy, and they'll put it they'll put it wherever the first monument comes down. That one will go up.
So you're Jeffing this.
Pretty much.
You're Jeffing it up. All right.
Yep.
There has been a request for the Recipe Minute to come back. Let me see if we got some sort of bell. I think I can maybe take this hammer, bang it up against this tequila bottle.
Oh, wow. This is a risky maneuver.
You ready, Jeff?
It's me doing the risk. Okay, I'll do it. It's fine.
You made barbecue shrimp. I don't think Alli and I have done anything
Okay,
that lofty.
I'll do it. It's fine.
I mean, we grilled a bunch of steaks, but that's not really recipe.
And I missed out on that.
That's
right. Ready?
You did.
Okay, this week's Recipe Minute is, as you may have heard, barbecue shrimp. This is a very simple thing to do. You go to the grocery store and you pick out about 2 pounds of head-on shrimp, whatever they're going for. I think it was $6 a pound that day. You bring that home. You throw it in a pan. You douse it with pepper and garlic powder. And you let it sit, and then you make yourself a sauce. And your sauce is about a pound of butter.
You don't do that first?
No, you let that sit.
First you make a sauce?
No, you let it sit. Your sauce is about a pound of butter, onion, celery.
Pound?
Parsley, salt and pepper, Italian seasoning, a little hot sauce, a little Worcestershire sauce, some lemon juice, whatever herbs you want to throw in there, like basil, rosemary. You chop up a lot of rosemary, actually. And, you let that cook up. And you dump
Chop it up so you have some fresh shit on hand.
Oh, yes. You saute all that in the butter. Then you let the butter simmer for a little while. Oh, and then you dump in whatever dark beer you have on hand. Like if you have
Turbo Dog.
Turbo Dog is good. At this time I had
Ding.
an Irish Channel Stout.
That's a minute.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You finish.
Figure it out, guys.
It seems a little fucking quick. God damn it.
You dump the sauce on top of the shrimp. Put the shrimp in the oven for about 20 minutes. Everything's cooked. Pull it out. Dip some bread in that. There you go. That was the recipe, minute and 15 seconds.
Cool.
Okay.
So, what else we got?
Just the jive wire.
You want to hear Jive Wire?
Yep.
You want me to read it? You want to read it?
Do you have a master list pulled out, or do you just want to?
We're just doing all new ones, I think.
We got some favorites.
We have a lot
and
of
some
new
ones
acts.
and some
Okay,
stuff.
we're just gonna. We need to do a refresh on the whole master list, anyways.
Yeah.
Not to part the kimono a little bit here. But.
Yeah, I mean it's getting old. Brain eating Abitas. Although it is pretty accurate of the actual.
It's
live
almost
wire.
brain eating Abita season again. So
it's the same shit.
Oh, they're getting around.
It's like Reverend's played at Vaughn's for like fucking 15 years and shit. So
my goal for this is to start getting some reviews of these shows.
I know.
Typed up and
I have someone in mind for that.
Okay. All right. So we're going to hear some stuff.
We've got big plans here, people.
All right. So here we go. This is the Hunker Downcast Jive Wire, your fake new music calendar for no night in particular. The Jive Wire is sponsored by Ira Ray. We met in the air. We'd like to thank Ira once again for the shiny new microphones with which Lance can do that.
Ballin'.
Right.
Ballin'. This is some ballin' ass shit.
They're dope.
The show that begins at sunset is Cali Calliope on the Steve McQueenie. The shows that begin at 6 p.m. are Greasy Gree at the Frenchman Tourist Trap, Gaseous Clay at the Apple Bottom Bar, our friends the Brain Eating Abitas at the Urinal Bar.
Fun show.
The shows that begin at...
But you know, at the Brain Eating Abitas, the drummer is the fucking singer.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's like Phil Collins?
Yeah, and
Phil is everywhere.
and that other, what's that band? The other band that does that?
Def Leppard?
No, that's a one-armed drummer. The local guys.
Foo Fighters?
Close. They seem to be local.
Cowboy Mouth.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Brain Eating Abitas.
Now I've got a picture of the Brain Eating Abitas in my head.
They're like that.
That's good. The shows that begin at 8 p.m. are the Dixie Larpers at Generic Circle, Streetcar to Nowhere at Girard Cemetery Bar, the Artisanal Vapes at Booted Booties, and Shoebox Graffiti at Miss May the 4th's.
The 4th.
The shows that begin at 9 p.m. are Man Bun Lemon Sit at the Bandit Bin, the Dukes of Hazardousness at the Jeff Davis Rogan Monument, the No Health Care for You... sorry.
No health care for you.
No Health Care for You at Chicken Lady Wawa.
Chicken Lady.
And Jeff can't read his own fucking handwriting at Dixie Tavern.
God bless him.
If you would like to get your show or band into the Jive Wire, please tweet us at hunkerdowncast.com or email us at hunkerdowncast@gmail.com.
Do we even check that email anymore?
I don't know who does check it.
It's a phishing. It's all phishing. It's just a phishing email.
Don't open that Google Doc.
Tweet at us, please, for the love of God. Just tweet at us.
Just tweet at our show. Also, you can get in touch with us individually on Twitter. Vargas, Allison DeYoung on Twitter. Is that correct?
We're sponsored by Ira Ray because he builds it better.
Right. Ira Ray does build this show better.
Also, I have the Open Words with Friends Challenge. I have pulled ahead in the series with Seth Hitsky, but Ira Ray is currently kicking my ass, and I just want him to know he's only kicking my ass because I have a fucking 7-letter word just sitting there that I'm waiting to play on him, which is proving to be a pretty bad strategy right now.
Okay.
That's okay.
But I issued the challenge to everybody who listens to this show.
Well, we've hit 2 hours of great hashtag content for tonight, so we should probably say goodnight.
Yeah,
I know. That's what we're doing, Allie. We're doing it now.
I know.
Okay.
I'm wrapping it up.
Okay, Allie.
Okay, Allie.
Okay, Lance.
Okay, Lance. Oh, good night, Moon.
I want to. Good night, Hoppers.
Everybody.